In 1973, a scientist set sail with 10 strangers on a raft, fully expecting them to tear each other apart in a desperate struggle for dominance. He designed a pressure cooker of isolation and conflict, but he accidentally discovered a truth so simple it might actually restore your faith in humanity. The architect of this experiment tried to be the CEO of the raft, attempting to pull the strings of human emotion to prove we are inherently aggressive. He believed that by stripping away the luxuries of modern life, the beast inside us would emerge. But he fell victim to the control paradox. The more you try to force a specific outcome, the more it eludes you. Life often rewards the relaxed and the cooperative, not the ones trying to death grip the behavior of others. While the scientists looked for complexity and chaos, the participants found that survival boiled down to something laughably simple: communicate and care. They focused on their circle of influence, their own actions and reactions, rather than the circle of concern involving the scientists' manipulative game. Why didn't they fight? To understand that, you have to realize that social anxiety is actually a brilliant evolutionary design. Our ancestors survived because being rejected by the tribe meant literal death. Therefore, our brains are hardwired to prioritize being accepted. On a raft in the middle of the Atlantic, the survival instinct didn't trigger aggression. It triggered the need for social survival. The participants weren't just being nice, they were using strategic thinking to design an environment where success was automatic. They understood that a beginner only sees the next move, the next argument, but a master sees the big picture of long-term survival. They weren't just solving problems as they came up, they were preventing them by building a social muscle through daily reps of interaction. When tensions did rise, as they inevitably do in a 12 by 7 meter space, the crew unknowingly followed the 90-second rule. They didn't feed the chemical flood of anger with stories of resentment. They let the physical sensations pass like a wave. Instead of blaming their feelings for their actions, they recognized that emotions are just data, not directives. They practiced emotional first aid, using the shared sensory experience of the ocean to interrupt rumination cycles. When someone got stuck replaying a conflict in their head, the group's momentum and the absorbing activity of sailing redirected their attention toward constructive channels. The secret weapon of the Acali Raft wasn't strength. It was strategic vulnerability. By sharing their fears and struggles, the participants released oxytocin, creating an instant connection and psychological safety. They moved from surface-level chat to meaningful conversation by following a natural progression of trust. They utilized the 70-30 rule, where the most powerful social tool wasn't talking, but listening, giving each other the rare gift of complete attention. They saw each other not as one-dimensional rivals, but through the three-people theory, acknowledging that the difficult version of a person is often just a mask for their true self trying to protect old wounds. During the most brutal storms, the crew survived by balancing unwavering faith with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of their reality. They didn't rely on delusional optimism about when they would arrive. They focused on the compound effect of small daily improvements in their sailing and their relationships. They built a personal resilience system that integrated physiological regulation, like rhythmic breathing with cognitive framing, to see every obstacle not as a threat, but as a stimulus for growth. They became anti-fragile, growing stronger from the very stress the scientist hoped would break them. The Acali experiment proves that when you stop trying to find yourself and start creating yourself through your habits and connections, humanity's default setting isn't war, it's harmony. You are the designer of your own social game, and the most powerful move you can make is to assume that everyone else is also just trying to navigate their own 90-second storm. If a group of strangers can choose cooperation over conflict while trapped on a raft, imagine what you can build in your own life by simply choosing to be a connection catalyst instead of a control freak. If you want to start building your own resilience system and master the social muscle that makes life easier, hit the subscribe button and join our community. Let me know in the comments, which micro skill are you going to practice today to strengthen your own social network?